anyone else, like, laugh when they saw Shin just blurt out his thoughts? He's like, what are you doing? Commander, what are you doing? Oh, so what are you doing? Why are we doing this? Like, why are we taking supplies, forcing them to leave and all that? We keep doing the exact same thing. What's the whole purpose of this? And Olsen walks over to this man. He gives him this, like, eye. Like, he's like, I'm giving you the eye, boy. Like, you saying my plan's bad? Like, you talking some shit? You talking some mad shit right now? Like, Olsen looked like he's about to kill this man. Like, his eye just, like, that whole panel focused on his eye. He just poked down. He's like, you talking some shit? I'm hearing that. I see that shit. And when he looks down at Oki's weapon, he's like, probably in his mind, if you didn't have that weapon, I'd be cutting your fucking head off. Like, okay. This chapter confirms, at the very least, what I was talking about last week when it comes to what the refugees are doing. So all the civilians that are leaving from the individual towns are traveling east. And because of this, when they finally get to Gyou, there's going to be a food shortage. There's going to be a bad shortage when it comes to food. There's going to be a lot of bad things that's going to happen to Zhao because of that. And when Kyokai mentions, like, they're like Locusts, it makes a lot of sense. Soon as they get to town, all the civilians are going to just eat. Because time they're done traveling through the desert and all that, and they sit down, they're just going to consume all the food, water, whatever. There's going to be nothing left for the soldiers. And if there is anything left, the civilians are going to be forced to defend for themselves, and they're going to probably starve to death or die or whatever. So when you look at it like this, as I said in last week's video, it's going to cause a problem to where these civilians that are going into Gyou, they most likely are going to rebel against the soldiers, because if the soldiers get the food, obviously the civilians are going to starve, because they're going to be very hungry when they finally get there, and if they start to starve to death, like women and children, men and all that start starving to death, obviously anyone that, you know, is really upset with this, which a lot of people will be, they're going to stand up, get pissed off, and probably try to just take back the food from the soldiers, or even open up the gate to say, fuck you. That's a possibility that could happen, and that's clearly what Olsen is trying to set up with this chapter. He's been forcing all the civilians to travel east. Now, let's look at it in a little bit more detail. So, as I said, that since this is his whole plan, he's moving all these people inside of this one city, the city is going to become overpopulated. If the city can only hold, let's say, 300,000 men, okay? And obviously, all these towns easily probably have to have 50,000 to 100,000 people inside of it, each city. And he's going through multiple cities, most likely all the way around in a ring, for probably many days now, for the next, like, 3 days. And once he gets all these people to go towards Gyou, obviously, it's going to be overpopulated. Number one, there's not going to be any places for probably people to sleep, so they're going to be sleeping outside, probably freezing to death or whatever. You're going to have a food shortage, you're going to have water shortage, you're going to have it to where, you know, everybody's going to be restless, and then you're going to have it to where, you know, Olsen's army is outside the fucking gate, so you're gonna have more people being stressed out, and obviously the civilians that were told to go east, that these civilians know they are not in mortal danger, but if Zhao starts to say, you're gonna fucking starve and all that, obviously they're gonna think Zhao's the enemy, and then they're gonna help out Olsen probably capture the city. I could see something like that happening because of the way this is all being set up. Now, I do have to admit, when it comes to Shin saying his thoughts in this chapter, I know many might be quick to judge and say, what the fuck, Shin? Like, are you serious right now? But in all honesty, that needed to be said, because even though us, as the reader, we knew what was going on, we kind of already got a good grasp of what Olsen is currently doing, we still needed that from Shin, because he allows everyone in the army to voice their concern, because even if we know, the army doesn't, and they're like, what are you doing right now? Like, time is ticking down, supplies are running thin, what are you doing? Every moment that passes, the noose is getting tighter and tighter around our throat until we're going to kill over and die. And so they're on a clock right now, a very, very short clock. Like, this clock is almost over, and when that hits, like, the final, like, 0, it's over. They're dead as hell. And they all know this. They're all worried. And so they're freaking out and they want to know answers, but Olsen hasn't revealed anything. And so Shin's saying that needed to be said for the army to raise morale. But also another reason, too, is if you had it to where General Olsen would have, like, yelled at Shin, obviously that wouldn't have been good for morale in the first place, for the entire Shin's unit, but also for the entire army, because if Onsen's not revealing anything, it's going to make it where people are going to distrust him, they're not going to follow orders, they're going to prioritize their own life first, and nothing's going to really get done. So, it was about time that Onsen finally revealed his plan, and most likely he didn't say it at first, probably because of spies. We gotta factor that in as well. It's obvious that Riboku has to have spies in the army, Quinn's army. There has to be spies. That's a big thing that probably Onsen was scared of, and he didn't want to reveal his plan like that, because if he did, the spies would have found out, they would have tried to ruin things, and then Riboku would have caught on faster. It would have been very bad. So, that might be the reason why he didn't say anything at first, but now he's saying it because enough time has passed where he's already set so many things into motion that you really can't even stop it now, because, as I said in my last video, you have it where Olsen, he's taken villages, and he's telling them to travel east, and so let's say they go to another village, and then they attack that village, and then, like, a next couple hours or a day, obviously, the citizens that were ran away from the previous village, if they're in that village, they're going to be like, oh, you don't have to worry, they're not going to kill us and all that, we just got to move. Obviously, they'll be more willing to give up and not die fighting. So, because of that, they'll just get up and leave and move away. And as this message continues to spread, it's going to be to where more villages are just going to give up, and it's going to be less of a fight. What normally would probably take an entire day to siege, it'll probably only take a couple hours, because they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to fight this, we don't want to lose people, if we could just, lay down our arms and walk out of here with our lives, that's what we're going to do. And so many are choosing that option, and as this continues to build up, it's going to be a ripple effect. And that's what Onsen was trying to say. He's like, the reason why there's like a stream is because as more and more civilians join the pack, it's going to be an unstoppable force. You cannot stop this big, line of civilians going towards Gyou. And when they finally get there, let's just put this also in a bigger perspective as well. Let's say that all these civilians get there, and then Onsen takes the village, takes Gyou, okay? They take that entire fortress. Obviously, if he does the exact same plan, he's going to force these civilians up towards the capital city. Now, if Gyou is captured and he forces these civilians, all of these civilians, towards the capital city, think about what's going to happen, okay? What has the king of Zhao done? This man obviously cares more about himself. So, if they do take Gyou from, Zhao, obviously if the civilians move up towards the capital city, the king's going to say, fuck you. They're going to instantly just say, fuck you, we're not helping you. And they're just going to lock them out of the city. That's what the king is going to do, which in turn is going to cause more riots, and, they're going to rebel and stuff. So, as this stream continues to build up, it's going to be an unstoppable force, and that is what Onsen is hoping for. What he is trying to accomplish here is not actually taking over these major cities through his force, but through Zhao's own people. That is some crusty shit, but it's a very good strategy. So, well done, Onsen, for the strategy. So, one other thing I want to talk about is Kyokai. So, Kyokai, I gotta admit, oh my god, I missed her being on screen. She's barely in the panels anymore, which kind of upsets me. I mean, I wish we had more, panel time / screen time for her, because there's barely any time she really gets to talk anymore, which it saddens me. I remember when she used to be focused on quite a bit, but nowadays she really isn't. So hopefully in this upcoming arc we get to, see more of her instead of just her saying a couple lines and that's about it. I want her to be a little bit more focused on in these upcoming chapters. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.